So what if I told you that you could create a stunning, pro-level documentary with nothing more than your smartphone and a handful of completely free AI tools? Well, today we're going to break down an incredible blueprint.
Think about this for a moment. Can AI really go beyond just being a simple tool? Could it actually become your creative partner? Your scriptwriter, your voice artist, and maybe even your animator? The answer is pretty amazing.
And the best part is, the whole process, from a totally blank page to a finished video, is built on this powerful, yet surprisingly simple 4-part framework. That's what makes this so accessible for anyone, no matter what your tech skills or budget are.
Okay, so here's the game plan. We'll start with the foundation, getting that perfect script. Then we'll give it a voice. After that, we create the stunning visuals. And finally, we bring it all together in the final assembly. It's a really clear path from idea to a finished video.
All right, first things first. Every great film, every great documentary, it all starts with a written word, right? It's the absolute foundation. So our first step is to craft a script that's going to grab your audience from the very first second. And to do that, we're going to turn to our friend ChatGPT, but listen, we're not just asking it for a story. We're actually commanding it to act like an expert documentary scriptwriter, building our narrative scene by powerful scene.
Okay, now this is where the magic really starts. Look at how specific this prompt is. You're not just throwing a topic at it. You're defining the length, the tone, and crucially, you're demanding strong hooks and that scene-by-scene structure. And that last part, no guidelines for creators, that's key, and make sure you get clean text that's ready for the next step. And check this out. Here's a killer pro tip. Once you have that great scene-by-scene script, you don't need some complex new prompt. You literally just follow up with, create a voiceover version, and boom, ChatGPT just strips out all the scene directions and gives you the clean, readable text. So simple. All right, so we've got our perfect voiceover script in hand. Now it's time to give our story a voice. And the best part, we're gonna do it without any expensive mics or fancy recording studios.
Okay, let's be real for a second. There are pros and cons here. A human voiceover can be super emotive, but it takes time, it takes gear. AI, it's instant, it's free, and anyone can use it. The only catch is, yeah, it can sound a little robotic at first. But hey, don't sweat it. We've got a fix for that coming right up. It's a super simple 3-step process. First, we generate the raw audio. Then, we find those telltale robotic pauses. And finally, we enhance it to create a smooth, totally natural flow. So for that first step, you're going to want to use this free tool called OpenAI FM. You can just Google it. You don't even need to log in. You just paste in parts of your script. And for that classic documentary feel, you got to select the True Crime Buff vibe. It does about 1.5 minutes at a time, so for longer scripts, you just do it in chunks. Okay, so here's the thing with AI voices. They often have these tiny, awkward little silences between phrases. You know what I'm talking about? It's a dead giveaway that you're listening to a robot. Audio enhancement is how we're going to fix that, getting rid of those gaps to make it sound totally pro.
And this right here is the cheat code. Seriously. You use this free app called Goldwave Studio, you apply an effect called Silent Deduction, and you use these exact settings. It takes one click, and bam, those awkward pauses are just gone, leaving you with a smooth, continuous voiceover. All right, we've got our story, we've got our voice. Now for the really fun part, bringing it all to life with some amazing visuals. This is what's going to make it a true documentary experience. This next part of the workflow is just genius. Instead of you trying to figure out what the visuals should be, you go back to that original ChatGPT chat, and you ask it to create a detailed visual prompt for every single line of your script. Then, you just take those prompts over to another AI to generate the images. And this is the most important instruction you give ChatGPT. You have to tell it to keep the visual style and theme the same for every single prompt. Why? Because that's what ensures all your images look like they belong together in one cohesive professional documentary. So, you take those prompts, you head over to Meta AI, which by the way is totally free, you generate your image in that 16:9 widescreen format, and then, and this is the coolest part, you just hover over the image and click Animate. And just like that, your still image becomes a short, dynamic video clip ready to go. Okay, this is it, the home stretch. This is where we take all the pieces we've carefully made, the script, the voice, the animated visuals, and we assemble them into our finished, polished documentary. And don't get intimidated by editing. It doesn't matter if you're on a phone app or a fancy desktop program, the blueprint is the same. Audio is your foundation. You lay that down first, and then you just sequence your visuals to match what's being said, adding simple transitions and sounds to finish it off.
So the big takeaway for editing is this. It's not about crazy complex effects. It's all about telling the story clearly. Let the audio guide every single decision. Match your visuals directly to the words, use simple, clean fades, and then add some music and those cinematic black bars to really elevate the final look.
So there you have it. We've gone through the whole process from start to finish. Let's do a quick recap of the awesome and totally free toolkit that makes this all happen.
Think of this as your launchpad. It's just 4 tools and each one has a specific job. ChatGPT is your writer. OpenAI FM is your voice actor. Goldwave Studio is your audio engineer. And Meta AI, well, that's your entire camera crew and animation department all rolled into one.
And I just have to say this one more time because it's so important. Every single one of these tools is free. They don't put watermarks on your final product, and you can do this whole entire thing on your phone.
Look, the barrier to entry for making amazing videos, it's just gone. It has never been this low. The technology is here, it's free, and it's probably in your pocket right now. So the only question left to ask is, what story are you going to tell?